Good morning, dear children. Welcome back to the online chemistry class of Sri Gokulam Public School. How are you, children? Hope all are doing well. So, children, what all have you learned? Yes, we have learned about wool. In the previous class, we were discussing about the processing fiber into wool. Hope all of you understood that topic. Today, we have to learn about silk. What do you know about silk? Silk fibers are also an animal fiber. Silk fibers are obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. What is silk moth? Silk moth is an insect which is exactly like a butterfly. There are many types of silk moth. Based on the silk moth, there is a variety of silk. There is a variety of silk which is different in texture. Example, tussar silk, muga silk, kosa silk, etc. are the different varieties of silk. The most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. The silk fiber from the cocoon of this moth is very soft, lustrous, elastic, and can be dyed in beautiful colors. Children, what is rearing? You already learned about rearing. Rearing means act of raising young ones or take care of young ones. The rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture. That is S-E-R-I, sericulture. Sericulture means the rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk. How can we get silk from silkworm? To know the complete process, just want to understand about the life cycle of silkworm. You might have studied in your lower classes about the life cycle of silkworm. So just a recap. The major developmental stages of a silkworm's life cycle are eggs, larva, pupa, and adult. The first stage is egg stage. Here, the female silk moth lays eggs from which larvae comes out. These larvae are known as caterpillars or silkworms. They start growing in size by feeding on mulberry leaves. Third stage is the rusting phase. At this stage, the caterpillar covers itself into silk fiber. This covering is called cocoon. Then comes the pupal stage. Here, the caterpillar first weaves a net to hold itself. During this stage, the caterpillar secretes fiber made of a protein which hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fiber. Soon the caterpillar completely covers itself by silk fibers and turns into pupa. This covering is known as cocoon. The last stage is the formation of adult. Inside the cocoon, the pupa develops into a moth and comes out as an adult silk moth. This is the overall life history of a silk moth. Moving on to the next topic, that is processing cocoon to silk. Like we studied about the processing fiber into wool, processing cocoon to silk undergo two steps. First step is rearing of silkworm and the second one is processing of silk. That means from cocoon to silk, it undergo two steps. First one is rearing of silkworm and the next one is processing of silk. Processing of silk. So let us discuss this in detail. The processing of cocoon to silk undergoes two steps. Step 1 is the rearing of silkworm. Here, the female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. These are stored on strips of cloth or paper and sold to silkworm farmers. The farmers keep eggs under suitable conditions of temperature and humidity. The eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature for the larvae to hatch from eggs. The larvae, called caterpillars or silkworms, eat day and night and increase enormously in size. These larvae are kept in clean bamboo trays along with freshly chopped mulberry leaves. After 25 to 30 days, the caterpillars stop eating and move to a tiny chamber of bamboo in the tray to spin cocoons. Next step is processing of silk. Here, a pile of cocoons is used for obtaining silk fibers. The cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled or exposed to steam to separate the silk fibers. The process of taking out threads from the cocoon for use as silk is called reeling the silk. Reeling is done in special machines which unwind the threads or fibers of silk from the cocoon. So with this, our chapter is completed. So children, go through this chapter and learn well. I have attached a video URL, test questions, notes and textual exercise of this chapter. Copy the notes and textual exercise and study well. If any doubts, we can clear it in the live session. See you in the next class. Thank you, children.